Welcome back. My name is Max. I'm a communication skills coach. Today we're checking out Olivia Rodrigo. I know she won a Grammy the other day, so I thought it would be cool to react to her. Enjoy the video.
You said this thing that I brought to you a quote that I thought, I just discovered it and I thought you might find it interesting. It's by Zadie Smith and it said, "The biggest lie about love is that it will set you free."
So first of all, the setup of this interview is very fascinating. Already I feel like the environment is trying to set them up for a very comfortable conversation. So we'll see how that impacts the vibe of this interview. But Olivia off the bat seeming to be very engaged with Drew. Let's see what goes on here.
I have never heard a take on, we have always accepted that love will set you free, as if it's a fact that is unquestioned. You said that I burst into tears. Oh God. Heartbreak is a two-way street.
Oh my God, I think
An important part of being an effective communicator is that active listening. And although Drew is interviewing Olivia, Olivia seems to really be interested in what Drew's saying.
Will set you free, as if it's
Which I think can show two things. One, comfort in her own self. She doesn't need to fill in the space with words. She's okay listening, being present. Maybe that's part and parcel of her being comfortable on camera. But she's also showing that she cares about Drew. She wants to listen to her. She's maybe wanting to connect with her. So I'm already seeing signs of her communication skills off the bat.
like you can blame someone else and be like, oh, like I hate that you did that to me and I hate that you did that to me. But when you really think about it, it's like you like put yourself in a position to be hurt and nobody's perfect and you must have done things wrong in that relationship too.
Okay, so she's really showing her maturity here. She's sort of taking the responsibility of her emotions as opposed to just solely casting blame on others. I like that concept. I think it's important to take self-responsibility.
Forgiving another person in a breakup is forgiving yourself too. That was like a big kind of aha moment for me.
if we all can learn from your ability to be proud of yourself. Because a lot of us have gone through life not doing it, and it's never too late, and I'm 47 and I'm asking you, because I'm mad I've missed out.
Yeah, I actually think
Olivia showing some really good listening skills here. You saw Olivia nodding her head, as in she's acknowledging that she's listening to Drew. She's really giving Drew the space that she needs to finish her question and her message. Even when it was her turn to speak, and Drew wasn't finished, she stopped what she was saying, looked at her, and acknowledged her again.
I'm 47 and I'm asking you, because I'm mad I've missed out.
Yeah, even as women, I think sometimes we feel like if we're like, yeah, I did this amazing thing, that we feel like ashamed to like say that, or we like want to be small constantly, or be like, I don't want to be bragging or whatever.
Humility is very dangerous. It's good for others, not great for us.
Well, that's an interesting line. Humility is good for others, it's not good for us. Yeah, it makes other people potentially feel more comfortable. Like if we're humble, if we're not proud or speaking openly about our accomplishments or our success, sometimes we don't do that at risk of, making other people feel bad. That's an interesting way to put it.
Be proud of yourself and also keep working hard at things and also be humble and be so grateful and also be so, privileged. I come from a lot of privilege and I recognize that, but I can also, still be proud of the things that I've done with that.
Do you?
Seems like she's kind of like tiptoeing and making sure she says the right thing here. She's probably very aware of any sort of public scrutiny. And I think what she's doing here is trying to sort of cover all her bases. So people don't look at her and say, oh, well, you are privileged, so as a result, you need to say something. Or, I think she's just trying to, again, avoid any sort of negative feedback.
Recognize that, but I can also, still be proud of the things that I've done with that.
It's almost like she's trying to bring Drew into the conversation more, almost as if she's sort of looking for Drew's validation in a way. You can see how she ended that last sentence. She said,
proud of the things that I've done with that.
Proud of the things I've done with that? Like she's sort of questioning it, like it's almost like she's not 100% confident. She's just trying to get that validation from Drew. So potentially it could actually be a good conversational tool as a way to get someone else's opinion. But when you're talking about your own personal feelings, I would generally advise to just sort of state it confidently without the uptick at the end, without the question in the tone. See how much intonation plays a role in how our message is perceived? It's something to be proud of, or it's something to be proud of. See the difference?
Yeah, I feel like we definitely had a similar experience growing up as child actors where you're like on a set, and I kind of talked about it.
So she's doing a good job at just like kind of like relating to Drew. Before in the interview, she even mentioned, she's like, I appreciate you saying that.
So that means a lot that you appreciated that.
Now she's saying, we sort of have similar experiences as childhood actors.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely had a similar experience growing up.
I think this is actually another good conversational tip that we can pull out from Olivia here. It's like being relatable in conversations. I feel like you can relate to this. I feel like you've also done something like this in the past. I remember you telling me about this before. All those examples can help bring the person you're speaking with in. When your audience or the person that you're speaking to feels heard, when they feel they can relate to what you're saying, you're automatically getting their attention.
And how insecure that can make you, because I just remember being like, oh, I could do the worst thing and people could, say that I did an amazing thing, so how will I know if I'm actually doing a good job? And I kind of like swung to the other side of the pendulum where I just thought everything that I did was bad all the time.
Okay, whoa, I'm having an aha moment. I'm not kidding. This wasn't in my notes, but have we accepted less in relationships to compensate for that?
Possibly.
From this conversation, what I'm gathering from Olivia is, first of all, she is a great conversationalist. I think she knows how to be very charming. I think she knows how to get people to like her. I think Olivia is just very in tune to other people. And as a result, that can be a really good thing for a communicator.
I'm having an aha moment. I'm not kidding. This wasn't in my notes, but have we accepted less in relationships to compensate for that?
That's an interesting, aha moment.
So Drew said, I just had an aha moment. And Olivia is reusing her exact same language.
That's an interesting, aha moment.
I used to tell people when doing presentations to different audiences, it's like, use the language that they use. If they say something in a certain way, use that language, mirror that language, because that's the language that's relatable to them. And it also shows that you're listening.
Thinking about this earlier, I'm like, oh my God, all of my female friendships have been so much more fulfilling than any relationship that I've ever had. They're so much more fun and I learned so much about myself, and I just think that's just the relationship that should always take priority.
So that's Olivia Rodrigo. Clearly has a lot of wisdom. I think she's demonstrated here some really good communication skills. However, my thought here is she's just very aware of how she comes across. Guys, if you want to watch my uncut reaction and analysis plus a bonus video of me reacting to Olivia at the Grammys, all you need to do is click on my Patreon link below. I'll catch you soon. Peace.